So what can you do for acne discoloration? You talked about that post-inflammatory. So what can be done for all that?
Okay, so what happens in that inflammatory process, as all those processes are making their way to the surface and you end up with a lesion, is that it affects the little micro blood vessels along the way. And blood vessels can leak out when they're affected, compromised, the coloration that's in the blood. So that coloration is made up of things like bilirubin and verdirubin. And so what happens is that it literally kind of stains the skin. And you can end up with, if you're really fair skin, it might be just reddish. And if you have more pigment, it can be purplish, it can be brownish, it can even be blackish.
Right.
So what we have in duality in the chamber that has the retinol, there's
Right.
something in there that actually gets rid of that 300 times faster.
Okay.
Now, we also can get rid of it a lot faster with the skincare management system because we want to get that out of the surface. So the skincare management, along with the duality, is another component, and not just clearing the acne, but everything that goes along with it, the texture, everything.
Awesome. Awesome. Can they, this little special, I have two of them left that you did this last month was awesome because it has the retinol as a free gift from you in there. Can they use the regular retinol if they are using duality because there is already retinol in the chamber, or?
Yeah, they can, but you don't really need to, but
Okay.
you can. Because a lot of times people are using Luminate
Right.
facial lotion, which is for brown discoloration, and that has retinol and it has the tyrosinase inhibitors and everything, and they're using duality. So yes, you certainly can.
Okay, great. Let's see. What about acne scarring?
Okay, so when we talk about actual acne scarring, like, there's a divot, there's a depression, there's something where the skin has become compromised, and that is an injury to the dermis. What I can tell you is that you can decrease the appearance of that if you're stimulating collagen, if you're encouraging collagen production. Remember I told you retinoids thicken the dermis up to twice as much. Yep. Glycolic acid also can have a substantial effect in that way. And then as you thin the stratum corneum, you're smoothing out those superficial imperfections. If it's really deep scarring, then you've got to have other kinds of modality in there. But you can make a big difference. I made a big difference when I had a few acne scars way back when I told you when I was on Accutane, and it's made a huge difference. You just don't see them anymore. But there are things like lasers, which can stimulate collagen, which can also, there's ablative lasers, there's Fraxel, there's things that you can do, and all the way up to including ice pick scars. Now, ice pick scars are the worst. So the reason I call them ice pick scars, because on the surface it can look like a little hole. Mm-hmm. But as you go down, if you were to try to medically laser that, it actually gets wider as you go deeper.
Oh, it does. How interesting.
So it makes it look worse. So what you have to do with ice pick scars is you have to excise them. So what a doctor does is they do an instrument that punches out the scar. They stitch it together when it heals. Oh. Then you can go back and do laser and all these things and get sometimes really remarkable results.
That's awesome. But the key is you need to, first of all, address and get the acne under control, because you can't there's no way you can even address the scarring until you get complete clearing.
You're going to end up with more scars.